Good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Play Back-to-Back Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about Free Guy. Before we go ahead and get started, I just want to remind everybody that even though this movie was just released out into theaters, that I want to remind everybody that this movie will contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie just yet, even though I don't want you to, but please pause this video, go check it out at your local theater, and then come right on back and become part of our awesome conversation. You guys have been warned, so let's go ahead and do this, everybody. Free Guy. And when this movie first started, honestly, well, let me say this first real quick, is that this movie has been delayed many times. It was supposed to come out last summer. And I find this movie to be more of a July film than an August movie, and it came out on Friday the 13th. Isn't that interesting? But the thing is about this movie is, even though this movie is laid back, it's been sent back so many times that it was well worth it. Why? Because this movie, man, did it really entertain me. I had a blast. I mean, come on. If you're gonna have a summer movie starring Ryan Reynolds, you're definitely gonna buy your ticket to go see this thing, no matter what it is, because Ryan Reynolds is the man. I mean, he knows entertainment. He knows how to entertain you. He has great comedic performance. He is a great actor. Not the best, but I mean, look at all of his work that he's done on Deadpool. Look at all the work that he's even done before Deadpool, besides X-Men Origins Wolverine. But I mean, he's just a phenomenal guy, and I love every single second of him every time I watch him in his movies. And coming back to the point, when this movie first started, you get the 20th Century logo. 20th Century, no longer 20th Century Fox. They give the logo, the same logo that 20th Century Fox had, but changed it from Fox to Studios. 20th Century Studios. So that's, and I caught that too. I think it's the first time I've seen that. So I don't know if that's something that they're going to be doing with Star Wars, because that was actually one of the things that I really missed out when a Star Wars movie would start off, is the 20th Century logo playing. And then you get A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Then you get the crawl going on. So I don't know. It's a very interesting idea, because 20th Century Fox is now owned by Disney, so Fox no longer exists. So it's great getting to know that they are definitely doing something worthwhile. Because this movie, even though it's owned by Disney, there are several aspects of the movie that are not Disney related. Say, for example, innuendos and language going on, things like that. But I still had a great time with this movie. I mean, so great. I mean, I had a blast. This movie did not disappoint at all. I mean, the thing about this movie is the fact that I am not even a video gamer. I don't play video games. And this movie happens to deal with video games. Dealing with your own personal avatar and just playing in this world of shooting guns and explosions and doing a lot of interesting things. But in particular video game, in this movie, deals with a lot of violence. And I really do love what this message does give us, is that this video game that gives us violence also gives the message to all of the players out there that it's okay to behave in this sort of manner. Kind of like what The Purge does, which we spoke very recently about in videos, several videos ago. And this movie is about this guy named Guy, played by Ryan Reynolds, and he wakes up every single day doing the exact same thing. He is he's a video game extra that just lures around in the background of the video game while the main characters, which are the players, take do their part and stuff like that. So robbing banks and exploding cars and helicopters, things like that. A lot of stuff that's happening. And even with Ryan Reynolds narrating at the beginning of the movie, it felt like a Deadpool movie. And just right after that, when you see Ryan Reynolds playing this character, Guy, even though that you just admire him playing the Deadpool character, he really does transfer that sort of characterism over to this Guy character, making the Guy character more interesting and more of its own character, away from being away from the remembrance of what Deadpool character is all about. So I really do admire what Ryan Reynolds is trying to do here. He really did develop this character very well, trying to keep it away from remembrances of the Deadpool character, because Deadpool is like huge right now, and a lot of people are expecting that that third movie to come in, especially now being owned by Disney and Marvel Studios. So Ryan Reynolds is really busy right now, but him having to star in this movie, the thing is that this movie really did win me just by the trailer itself alone, and playing that song "Fantasy" by Mariah Carey. That's a very catchy song. That song is actually still in my head. They play it in the trailer, and it plays a lot in this movie, and it's a very catchy song, and it sticks with you for a very long time. This movie really does remind me a lot of, say, for example, the Lego Movie, or Wreck-It Ralph, The Truman Show, Ready Player One. Just so many different types of movies coming together, and this movie doesn't really have I'm pretty sure that there's not that many. There are Easter eggs in this, but very noticeable ones. But I don't find any that really capture my attention in the background, because I'm really focused in the movie. The movie really does pull me in and collect my attention. Like I said, the movie is very fun. I really had an excellent time with this movie. But like, say for example, Space Jam: A New Legacy, we had so many Easter eggs in that movie, and it kind of drew my attention away from the movie. It drew my attention away from the basketball game. Why? Because I'm actually putting more attention on, who's that I see in the background hiding in the audiences. That's another WB character. Here, for example, I don't see any memorable characters. These all look like original characters that they just made up from the top of their head. There's one that's like a boxer that looks like Rocky, but it's not Rocky, because they're not really giving out their own properties to keeping your focus away from the film and just staying more attached to the characters and the story that they're trying to tell. I really do admire what they were trying to do there, trying to keep us very, very head on with the story moving on forward. So this character Guy runs into, since he is an everyday character, he just feels so bored. He wants to do something with his life. He doesn't feel like he doesn't even know that this is a video game. He doesn't feel like he is another background character like everyone else who sticks to the plan as what they're programmed to do. So he runs into this character, which is a Molotov girl, played by Jodie Comer, and this is the Avatar character, when her real life character is called Millie, and they're the same actress, Jodie Comer. And I think that she did really good in this movie. I find her to being extremely well played. I think that she did a phenomenal job, a huge plus in this movie. And I really do admire the chemistry that her and Ryan Reynolds do share into this movie. Very great actors. Really great job. And then you get the character Keys, which is her video game partner, played by Joe Keery, that we all know from in the Stranger Things series on Netflix. Oh my gosh, this is like the villain of this movie, named Antoine, played by Taika Waititi. And Taika Waititi is just awesome. I mean, I would have thought that he probably would have directed this movie, but actually this movie is directed by Sean Levy, which he's shown up in so many things. He's written a lot of films, he's produced a lot of films, he's even directed a lot of films, like the Pink Panther movies, Night at the Museum movies, Real Steel. I love Real Steel. So this guy has some very interesting talent, and having to adding Free Guy into the resume, I mean, it's just good. He really does have a huge talent in directing films, so I really do give a lot of credits to the director. Good job. Yeah, but Taika Waititi, man, I've never really seen him in action. I mean, we got to see him a little bit in the Suicide Squad last week, and so that was a surprise for me, which I did not happen to mention in that video. But it was a huge surprise getting to seeing that was Taika Waititi, and he's just as good as an actor as he is as a director. And I know I've heard his voice playing Korg in Thor Ragnarok and Avengers Endgame, and he's just a very funny dude. I really do admire him, and he's a very fun guy. But getting to see him in this, wow, he becomes a completely different character. He is kind of like Korg, but a more gangster rap type of character. So, but I really did like it. He was very funny. He has a really great sense of humor, and I love him working alongside with Ryan Reynolds. They did this little promo of Deadpool and Korg for the first time ever, MCU and Fox just sitting right next to each other, having this little conversation going on. I didn't really get the whole details as to what the conversation was in that promo, but it was really cool just getting to seeing those two sitting right next to each other, knowing that this is actually happening. So it was great. But yeah, Taika Waititi, man, just so awesome. I really do admire his work. As a matter of fact, I think that I'm more of a huger fan of him after this movie, because I know that he is returning directing Thor Love and Thunder that's coming out next year. Can't wait for that one. I think that they just finished filming, so I'm really excited getting to seeing that movie. He did a great job in Ragnarok and even a great job in this movie, and can't wait to see what he's capable of in the next Thor movie. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. So you get so many other cameos in this movie, like Channing Tatum. He's one of the first ones, and he does come out in several scenes later on in the movie. Very funny. I love watching Channing Tatum. Such an awesome dude. Alex Trebek comes out in this as well in an particular scene. This is very interesting because this is where the Easter eggs start coming out, because Ryan Reynolds is going up against this big muscular dude that's actually the character's name, Dude, and you just see this muscular guy coming out, and I'm like wondering, okay, he's very muscular and he's very dark toned, so I'm wondering, is this Dwayne Johnson? I mean, it would be great getting to see Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds in the same screen. Or I would have thought it would have been John Cena as well, but I find that Dwayne Johnson is a little bit more muscular, and that's what this character looked like to being. But no, as a matter of fact, it was a duplicate copy, more muscular copy of Ryan Reynolds. Since Ryan Reynolds is just Guy, this one is called Dude, and you just see this CGI face just put onto this muscular guy. That's actually the character. The actor is actually played by Aaron W. Reed. I would have not have ever guessed it. I would have just said, "Oh, that's Dwayne Johnson," but no, it's not. And so he goes up against this dude character, and right when he's in the middle of almost about to dying, he just pops right out because he has these glasses, and he could see like how you do in Ready Player One, all of your weapons, your lives, and all that stuff, everything that you've collected throughout playing this video game. And so he picks the most obvious thing, and you just see a shield when he breaks loose against the dude character, and you would think it's the Captain America shield, and it actually is. Why? Because Fox is owned by Disney. So yes, you can put Disney property in a Fox film, even though it's not a Fox film. It's just 20th Century Studios movie now. So yeah, you get to see the Cap shield, and then he pops up with the Hulk hands. That's awesome. And then the one that was so amazing was getting to seeing the lightsaber. The lightsaber was just so awesome. Getting to watch in a 20th Century Studios, even though Star Wars originated from 20th Century Studios, but just getting to seeing it coming back was really awesome. I loved getting to seeing him fight with a lightsaber. And plus, when that Captain America shield came out, it was a huge mind blower seeing Chris Evans. He's just, because he's watching the streaming video of Guy fighting against Dude, and he's just like, what? He's like, WTF. So it was fun getting to watching that. This movie made me laugh. I was really entertained throughout this entire movie. It was so awesome. Had a great time. You get another character, Buddy, who plays Guy's best friend in the video game movie, world, played by Lil Rel Howery. I've never heard of that name before, but he looks very familiar. I know I've seen him in several movies before in the past. But yeah, his comedic performance is okay. You know, I didn't really have that many laughs with him, but he's an okay addition to this movie. I just didn't like how the ending turned out, honestly. It was a little too confusing for me because he gets killed off and then just comes back to life at the end, saying that, oh, I got killed off and I was sent to this other new world, and that the world is the one that we're all in now. And I'm just like, okay. It wasn't really fascinated by that. And it didn't lower its percentage from what I criticized this movie with. Speaking of, Rotten Tomatoes went ahead and gave this movie an 82%, and for me, I actually liked it a little bit more. I mean, this movie really caught my attention, and I wonder, because I think maybe it's because this movie is an original movie. It's not based off of a book. It's not based off of a video game. It's not based off anything, a graphic novel. Nothing at all. It's out of the minds of the writers. And that's what I want. That's something that Hollywood has a very terrible habit of doing. They don't do that anymore. And I love that they finally do something original, something that pops in their mind. Instead of doing sequels or remakes, which I don't mind either, but it's like, I want original material. And that's what Free Guy, that's why Free Guy captures my attention. And loving it. I mean, it was just so good. So there is original material still out there for people to come up with and to develop it into a movie and be highly successful. And everybody wins because the studio will get more money off of. Because, like I said, Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 82%, which is a really good percentage. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's huge, but mine's even huger by giving it a 94%. That's like awesome. That's really awesome. Because last weekend we did the Suicide Squad movie, and that one even impressed me, and I was really surprised on how successful it was by, what was it, a 96%. At first 100, now up to 96. So that's phenomenal, man. I mean, so Hollywood is pretty much doing something right here. I don't think that they know what just yet, but it's there, and I really do hope that they recognize it and start using that material to develop more movies to capture the audience's attention. So I was really astonished by that. So 94% that I give it. Really great movie. Man, I could not get enough of Ryan Reynolds. I could not get enough of this movie. It was a really fun movie. And I would love to see more original material like this one. So I'm impressed. I'm really happy with this movie. And man, like I said, I just can't get enough. So anyways, everybody, that is my review for Free Guy. Have you guys went ahead and watched it? If so, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section on the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate everybody's support on my channel. It is a huge personal hobby of mine that I love to develop and put together to entertain all of you wonderful viewers. So, I'm Awesome Joe, everybody. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye. Thank you.